You've got your crystals, you've got your army diet, you've got your silent meditation retreat, please be quiet. You've got your oil pulling, bullet journal, juicing cacao. Come sit and talk about it, nothing is a sacred cow. Tell us all about the whoa that you do.
Yeah, that is wild. The idea of drag.
I did drag once. I was hosting something. They wanted to put me in drag, which for me means then dressing me up as a woman, which as a person who started as a woman I feel like is going to rip time and space or something. But the minute you put lipstick and a wig on me, I look way more manly for some reason.
Really?
Did not.
Oh my gosh.
Reverse somehow.
You really did rip through time and space.
It's broken. I look way more like a woman when I'm trying to be a man than when I'm attempting to try and be a woman.
I mean, that should be on the podcast right there.
Well, we're recording, so you guys can start whenever you're ready.
That was our cold open.
That's your cold open, yeah.
Somehow.
Oh boy, I'm sweating.
Hey everybody, welcome to That Woo You Do. You're sweating because you got locked outside. I'm Mary Lynn Rajskub. This is Jeffrey J.
I'm sweating from laughing. We come in here and we get started and it's so funny, and we haven't seen each other in like a week, and it feels like we have so much to catch up on that we just start word vomiting our stuff and then immediately laughing about the things that happened in our week.
That Woo You Do is a podcast where
you're like, I don't even want.
Because I'm trying to be official.
Yeah, I think.
But you're right. When we don't talk, we gotta. Let it out.
Okay. So let's just keep this all on the podcast and go. Hi everyone, welcome to That Will You Do. Is that what? Is it funny? That Will You Do is a podcast.
Let's do it at the same time.
Yeah.
Hey everyone,
welcome to That Will You Do. I think we nailed that. This is a podcast where we talk about anything that makes you feel good. Woo-woo things that might be spiritual. It's just kind of the stuff that, I don't know, maybe not totally scientific, but you like it.
Yeah, maybe magical, would you say?
Yeah, definitely magical.
Everyday magic.
Mm-hmm. Even if you're just saying it's magic.
Like, do you believe in God or evolution magic?
Because they're both magic.
How are we even here? Let's get into it on That Woo You Do.
Yeah. I'm laughing. Oh, God.
Today, we'll be talking about...
We're going to do morning
rituals. Everybody.
Morning rituals. I like the idea of morning rituals because you have such a cool morning ritual that you put on social media too. And your mornings look so magical.
My mornings are so nice. I mean, I don't put it on social media I should do. You know, people are like, I make the matcha. I'm in my New York hotel. I have the little whisker. Mine would be like, when I take the dog out, that's when the cat goes poo. And when I get back, oh my gosh, they love consistency. The cat waits for me to leave with the dog. That's when he takes his dump. He wants to be alone. Every time I'll come back in, I'm like, oh, you did it. Just like clockwork.
So your pets have a morning ritual.
Yeah, I'm out cleaning up the dog dump and I come back to a cat dump. Isn't that sweet? I should really put that on social media. No, I'm just saying I just put like quick stories of like the walk, which is I can't help myself because it's every time I'm like, this is gorgeous, even though it's like kind of boring, but it is gorgeous.
Yeah, the dual dumps was not what I was saying was magical.
Yeah. No, that was a secret, and that's just a woo that I do.
Yeah, the dumps are just for you. You don't put that on social media.
I mean, I don't like talking about dumps. I just think it was funny that the cat does it while I'm gone.
I think it's awesome that then they have a ritual because you have a ritual.
Yeah.
I think that's lovely and probably good for their system, to be fair.
Yeah.
And no, you don't put it on social media in a way that's like, look at me, good morning, this is it. Now I'm making my matcha chai or whatever the
I should,
shit.
though.
No, you shouldn't. Because that's not for people. It's for you. When you're doing a silly video, it doesn't feel like you're doing it because you should. It feels like you're doing it because you're having a moment. It's like dog butt walking. It's like your dog's walking from behind, and you're just going through a beautiful meadow that you've stumbled upon outside of your house.
Yeah, it's so nice. When I go at sunrise, it's the best.
Yeah.
Because it's too hot. We have to start going out at 6 a.m. now.
Yeah, your stuff is for like the things that you post that are beautiful are done for like lazy reasons.
Yeah. That's why.
Like if I don't do this now, look at this gorgeous, life-changing sunset.
Whoops.
My amazing dog on this mountain I live beside.
Sometimes I'll run into people on the hike because it's also their morning ritual.
Yeah.
My one neighbor, Jake, he wears a T-shirt sometimes that says, "Old guys rule." And he has a American Bulldog, and he just inherited another dog that's I guess a retriever mix, but like really skinny and energetic and barks a lot. But yeah, I'll run into people. It's him, and he's got a couple friends. And then there's also Ken, who is a martial arts master, a black belt. Ooh. And he's Japanese, and he's like in his early 70s, and he jogs it, and he does it twice. So he does almost 5 miles in the morning. His body's hard as a rock. He's a martial arts master.
I see. Is this the group
and
of
he'll
like...
stop jogging to walk with me. So
what a gentleman.
So
just in case someone else comes out and he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Just like,
that's right.
Just like some karate.
And I think he might like me.
Oh, I guess that could be a reason.
He tried. How dare you? He just wants to show off his fighting moves.
This will be the recurring difference between me and you, the asexual person who finds like, oh, what craft are they trying to do? And you're going
what
like,
craft are they trying to do? You know, I played Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't tell you this part. Well, I didn't really. I think we just texted about it, but I played Dungeons and Dragons for the first time, and I had picked out my character beforehand. The dungeon master, I just call him the master.
She texted me.
I was like,
she goes,
the master does all the hard work.
And I was like, no one's ever called it just the master.
Anyway, so the master really helped me out with the rules of the game. And I was so confident because I was a tiefling, but during the game, I was like, so my name, I'm a tiefler, and they all, they just let me say, and they corrected me at the end, but my character's name was Jessica Chastain before she got veneers. You know, because she had horns and hooven, and she was a rogue.
Oh, so good. It was when
so
you
confident.
said you were playing.
I'm a tiefler. Everyone was like, are you a tiefler?
I've never felt so much joy in my life whenever you said, playing Dungeons and Dragons. I'm like, oh my God, please, I will teach you. I will tell you everything you need to know. It made me so excited to tell you about Dungeons and Dragons. It's something I don't talk about a lot because I don't hang out with many people who play Dungeons and Dragons. And when they do, we nerd out pretty hard.
Really? So you were kind of lying to me when you said you didn't really know the rules. You know how to do everything.
Yeah, I know them a lot. But I'm really also...
Were you trying to make me feel better when you said I just go along?
Yeah.
Oh.
But...
He was like, don't worry about it. And sure enough, everybody else I was playing with was like, so I'll take 5 off that and my insight. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You just said 8 things, and I'm looking at my sheet and I'm like, where are they even getting all these things from?
But the joy of playing with somebody who doesn't, because one thing I was being honest about is that a lot of times I won't know what I'm supposed to roll, and the DM... Yeah. The master, as you say.
The master of all the tiefers.
Yeah. Will tell you exactly what you're supposed to do because they know everything. And so you can go into D&D with the right people, and it is just basically a truly fun improv game where someone tells you what to roll, and no matter what happens, you'll have fun with it.
Right.
And that was all true.
Well, that makes sense. And then the more you play, you know all the rules, but the master is going to keep you on track no matter what. Have you been a master before? I
No,
insist
my
on calling
brothers
it that.
tried to convince me to, but my brother is so phenomenally good and funny. He's a DM, and he's so good at it, and he does voices and characters, and he makes trailers for his D&D, like with mini figurines, like little, like full-on movie trailers. It's called Tasha's Hideous Crafter. Look, I'm gonna actually push something out there.
As soon as the one that I was on, as soon as it started, and people started describing their I was like, what? And one guy used a voice. It was like, are you kidding me? What is happening? Like, I'm the gargoyle from the, like. Oh, it's just. But then only one guy, well, actually two guys maybe. One guy did a voice, one guy kind of did a voice, and everyone else was like, yeah, so I'm going to use a spell on this. Kind of had an attitude similar. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it because we spent like 40 minutes just trying to open a door.
Yes.
I was like, this is cool.
That's the joy of like you being around people, because you knew these people for a long time. And when you're with people you know, and you know they're comedic minded, then it is absolutely a joy to be around them and being imaginary. That's my brother's Dungeons and Dragons trailer.
Wait, how did you guys found that?
It's on YouTube. Also, it's a very good pun.
Tasha's Hideous Crafter. I came up with that pun. Dustin,
I didn't even know you said the name of anything that they could look it up. These are really good. There's
a spell called Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
And it makes someone laugh so much they can't defend themselves. So my brother needed a name, and I said Tasha's Hideous Crafter, and he'll call me anytime he needs names for things or something funny. I'll just like bang out a bunch of jokes or puns for him. And anyways, this is his like insane. He's got a Wes Anderson one that is hauntingly good.
Wow.
And so he is like, this is him just filming with a bunch of miniatures, and he only makes this for us because we're about to start a new game, and he'll say, this is the things that we're going to do in this game.
I feel like, and I'm feeling it now, and when I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, I'm like the dumb jock.
Yes.
I'm so not that in life. Like I'm not a jock at all. But in this world, I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Jessica Chastain. Like I'm just like refuse to get it, but yet I kind of get it.
And you're the one person, too, that has played so many amazing characters and who is an actress who really gets into these amazingly funny, fully embodied characters. And then someone else is going, I'm a goblin. And you're going, what are you doing, you nerd?
Yeah.
BRB, I'm going to get paid a bunch of money to play this same character.
Yeah, I do it when I get paid. What's up?
That's what it is. You're like, I'm not on the job right now. I'm not doing a voice.
That's true. It's like when you see comedians in real life that are, I would say more often than not, like quiet at parties and stuff.
Yeah.
It's always the people that don't have an outlet that like have regular jobs that they have to be like tamped down. But comedians are like, I come to parties to be quiet.
Totally. I was just at the big rap party for Riverdale, and and every time someone would say like, "Ooh, comedian," I'd be like, "Yeah, that's what I do." Okay.
Is that a thing for them? Why don't you tell us what you did on Riverdale?
It was a show.
Tell the listeners of this podcast.
Yeah, I was a show assistant for the writers' room of Riverdale.
Could you say that a little bit faster for those?
I probably could. Anytime anyone asks me about anything I've done, I don't know how to deal. I would much rather be an imagination.
You were a writer's assistant.
I was a showrunner's assistant.
Showrunner's assistant.
Yeah, so for that and a show called Pretty Little Liars, so whatever. But anyways.
And it was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work. You knew me at that time.
Yeah.
And I was exhausted constantly. But it was a joy to be a part of a show that was like the writer's room was just a bunch of amazing humans who felt like we could do kind of whatever, like we could write on a show that didn't have such insanely high stakes that we could really have fun in the writer's room.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like
you mean you're not writing on
Succession,
Game
like
of Thrones.
something I guess something where somebody, I mean, it was a big deal. The fandom of Riverdale is insane. They are mad no matter what you do.
Right.
They are pissed that some people didn't end up in couples or whatever. But basically, the writer's room of Riverdale has gotten made fun of a lot, but really, it's truly filled with some of the most amazing humans and writers.
Did they ever listen to the fans and do stuff deliberately that the fans wanted?
I can't speak to very much given who I am and what has gone on, but all I can say is that it was an amazing job, and also every single writer in there was one of, like, seriously some of my favorite people. And Roberto, who I worked for, was like a genius, which was crazy, like, to work for somebody who
The showrunner?
who could run 2 different writers' rooms at the exact same time. He would leave one room and then go right into the next room and be working on 2 completely different seasons of 2 shows in the same time.
Now,
It's fascinating.
the writers' strike. I follow the SAG-AFTRA strike. I follow this writer that I actually pitched a show with years ago, who I haven't seen in years, Michael Jamin, and he's really crushing it with the content because he's taking questions. He's so good. It's like one of those people where you're like, oh, you were built to do this for social media and talk to the camera. But he fields questions and he'll deal with, like, trolls who are like, we shouldn't make residuals, and he's like, actually, like, let me break down how this works for you. But one of the things was somebody going, why do you need like 7 or 8 writers in a room? And he, like, broke down the reason why. Like, it's just a weird world now.
It's insane. I mean, writing is such an amazing craft, and especially when you're talking about a season. You have a series arc, you have a season arc, you have each episode arc, you have each character's arc, and you're supposed to keep track of all that and write in all of their own voices and deliver to what people want and listen to the producers that are telling in, executive producers who are telling you what to change, and then the studio and the network and all these different notes. How do you expect 2 people or 1 person to do that? Especially, we had 22 episode orders.
Yeah.
So we had a 22 episode order and an 8 episode
Classic
order, all running at the
show.
same time. So anyways, that's what I was doing with my life. But now we're on strike, and it's amazing.
And now you just play D&D.
Yeah. Was it fun going into Imagination Land for a bit, or would you, if someone asked you back to play D&D, or was that a one-time?
I would do it, and I would do it with that group because of the humor. And I found it to be a bit, I don't know how to articulate this. It's like you could see people's brains going off when the master was like, okay, well there's this and this and this thing, and then the you could see it, like, kind of coming out of thin air.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, if I, am on the ledge, but there's another door over there, and I just heard a sound, and you could see it, like, in real time, creating, like, something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And then the next moment, like, completely dropping that thing. I mean, not necessarily. Sometimes it, like, builds on it.
Yeah.
But that, like, I was kind of getting that, how the energy comes together, and then everyone's listening as that person's like creating that or making that decision. I think that's the thing that pissed me off about it like 20 years ago, which is the best part, because these people, I think, have been playing together that long. And this woman, Sarah, I met her 20 years ago. She was dating a comic that I used to hang out with all the time. And they invited me over to play D&D. She remembered. I completely forgot. She goes, remember when we played 20 years ago and you were like, this is stupid.
Yes.
And so that was the group. And it was also Brian Posehn. It's his podcast, and it's called Nerd Poker, and he's done it forever. And I've known him forever. Like, we've done sitcoms together. We've been like, and also I completely forgot. I was like, Brian, weren't we love interests on some show? And he's like, just shoot me. I was like, oh yeah, that show. We just did an episode of that where we were both weirdos that had a date together in a movie theater years ago. And then it was Blaine Capatch, who I've known forever. And yeah, it was just really hilarious.
I'm so happy you did it. And it just, to me, it's a moment of freedom that you get to have where you, I don't know, we don't play I play a lot. But normal adults, I think, don't play enough in their regular life, and being able to sit down with a bunch of people.
We also did it at 10 in the morning. So from 10 to 12, I started my day with just taking a chunk of time to just play imagination.
Yes! And that's a short time. Most D&D tables are like,
oh, look how hot she is.
oh my God.
God.
Even when you're trying to be gross.
I look back on my youth and I was like, God, I squandered that. I should have been like... really working it. I was so self-conscious. Oh, look at Brian. I think he has like big sideburns. Yeah, what were these two? Look at my face. You know something was going down between these two. I'm like, oh. It was like a precursor to Gail the Snail.
So you two came back together.
I have no memory of like what that scene was or what happened.
God.
But yeah, I'm really into Dungeons and Dragons now.
Yes. And when I play it, one of the things that I love about it is I got in trouble once because I constantly try to talk the monsters out of fighting us, and then it works a lot. So
it does?
I got our DM, which was my brother.
Do you play the same character every time?
Depends. I played 2 different characters. One of them was so beloved by people that he started his own religion, which became a cult.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because I would just talk to people and I would be so friendly to them, and I would be like, so what do you really want to do with your life? Like, what's your true passion? Like, why are you fighting us right now? And then one of them wanted to be a stand-up comedian, so I wrote a bunch of jokes for this monster. Then the monster performed stand-up comedy for us, and he didn't kill us, and we didn't fight. That's that story.
That's so funny. Chris Fleming last night at Largo, and I was off to the wings, so I off to the wings. Yeah. I was off to the side, so I couldn't hear the whole thing, but he was doing some sort of sketch where a little girl took the stage, because he mostly was doing stand-up and doing what he does and like songs and videos behind him a little bit, but a lot of like straight talking to the audience. But it was something where a sound effect happened, and she was telling him that he was actually not a stand-up comedian but a cross-country girls coach. And then he was like this music happened, and it was like he was free, so it's like the opposite of your character, and he's like, I am a coach. I don't have all these aches and pains anymore. And he took his glasses off. He's like, I can see now that I've given up comedy. Yeah. It's like the opposite.
Yes,
character.
but it's the freeing thing of like, I don't know, it's conflict resolution. I think, and in quarantine, which is the last time I really played was quarantine, because we had so much time. Yeah. So I could put aside 8 hours in a day.
You would play 8 hours?
That was short. Sometimes we'd play like 10 hours. And
how many people are in the group?
At that time, we had like 8 of us in this group, and we all had very strong characters. And then it would be me and my partner, Emma. We would both be on our 2 computers, which we had set up in the living room, and both playing our different characters with our headsets on. Everybody has their own dice, and sitting at this table with 8 people playing Dungeons and Dragons. And it was a lovely, lovely time.
And your brother's the master.
Yes, and he was clearly so good at it. And
the master.
So that was that ritual.
Yeah.
Good God.
Does it say what this episode of Just Shoot Me was about? Wait, what was the show about? Does anybody remember it? Did they work at a magazine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So David Spade was like a writer in at the magazine?
Or an editor?
He was an assistant.
He's an assistant?
To, what's his face?
Stuart Siegel.
It's amazing.
This says the premise of this episode. The episode is Maya judging Amy from season 6 of Just Shoot Me, episode 5. Maya is looking for a new assistant and thinks she's found the perfect one when Amy Watson, a good-looking, young, intelligent woman, shows up at the office.
Oh my God.
That's not me.
Is that referring to you?
No, I'm not a good-looking, young, intelligent woman. That's not my...
Not on this. You're not.
In real life. It's hard to be a character who's not... No, I'm always a quirky weirdo
Oh, here's another. Maya's new assistant will stop at nothing to get ahead fast. She goes over Maya's head to get Jack to hire her as the new sex columnist.
Yeah.
Elliot sets Kevin up with a date, but Kevin can't let Elliot go.
And who does it say
So
who
I bet you you're the one, because Kevin is Brian, right?
Yeah. And who was the
You're
other
Penny.
guest cast? The Tiffany Thiessen? Amy. Yeah, it was Tiffany Thiessen.
Okay, yeah, she's Amy Watson, Tiffany.
And then I was just a
I think of
random
her
person.
I'll always think of her as Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Yeah, your name was Penny.
My name
You're
was
Penny.
Penny. I was the random person that they set him up on a date with.
You can just go next time you play D&D, just play one of your old rando characters.
and create the world that was never created for them.
Yeah, there we go. You're like, and here's my army of cats.
Yes.
And they all run out.
You didn't know it was there. That could have been a whole episode. You blew it. Just shoot me. You could have done the Army of Cats episode. What is wrong with you? Yeah, I really had quite a run in the 90s of playing weirdos on sitcoms.
And like one-offs.
And one-offs.
Like, what a joy that seems like what a joy to be able to come in and play a type of character for a moment and go all in with it and then not have to live with that one weird character anymore.
Always putting the positive spin
I
on
know.
stuff. I mean, I'd like to be a regular and make some money would be great. People are like, oh, you work so much. I'm like, yeah, because every job I do is $2,000. That's why I do 100 things. Yeah, it's delightful to just come in and know that you could get fired at any second and try to fit into something that's already been established and be a weirdo. It's great to do one-offs, Jeffrey. It's great.
Like talking to a band. Yeah, but just the fact that you had one single is like nobody wants to be on tour.
Yeah.
Tour is like the worst part of being in a band. But with
Yeah.
like one single.
You don't want to be known as a band.
Yeah, because then girls just see you as that person and you can like be an accountant the rest of your life if you want.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can't complain. Look, I'm pretty iconic, depending on
my
how you look
God.
at it.
It's so
I've had an amazing career.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, and a lot of it was looking back, like when I look at myself and I go, oh, I'm so hot. I mean, there is some truth to the fact that at a certain point in time, the way I was projecting myself out in the world was like I was a weirdo and I was very socially awkward. And the essence of that, like I got work from being a weirdo. Which is kind of what I was in real life. So I was like, so I'm very lucky because in that sense, it's a bit of therapy to be able to work like that, like get jobs that are versions of yourself,
Yeah. It's interesting to me. It's weird because I've only known you personally as like a hot bitch. So like,
I'm like a hot bitch now. It's so weird.
I
'cause
don't-
I'm trying to like, I have more confidence now. Like my character Gail Stale, I have confidence and I've grown into my body.
Yeah.
I'm sexual now, but it's weird to be like later in life, I'm like, I never thought I'd be one of those people. I'm like, why do I act like I'm 30 and I'm 50? Cool.
yeah, but that's
Cut to me like hitting on younger men, which I haven't done yet. Maybe that's my new thing.
Ooh.
That's not true. I have done that.
Have you?
The Elvis impersonator.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was so hot.
It
Oh my God,
was.
we have like, I can't
This
even
is
get into
amazing.
that. That's going to be a whole
that's
episode.
like that's a little teaser for later.
Ooh, next
but
episode.
that's such a good one.
And he hit on me. That was like a reawakening.
You get hit on a lot though. You get hit on a lot.
I don't. Do I?
Yeah. Yeah, you get hit on
That's
a
the
lot.
new me. That's part of the new me. I don't even realize that it's happening. I got to take ownership of that.
Yeah,
That
you really
definitely
do.
happened with the Elvis impersonator. I was on an elevator. I was like, huh, he's flirting with me. Like in my head, I was like losing my shit. I was like, is this really happening? And then I had to act quick before he left the elevator.
That's That's the other thing. We'll get into this in another episode where like this is what I need help from you because I just think everybody, and this is the very real thing about me, is that I won't know if somebody likes me until not just that we're in bed together because we will already have been in bed together and I'll just think we're having a sleepover. This has happened twice. This has happened twice in my life that I thought I was having a sleepover that grown-ups just had sleepovers.
That's not even a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing. I just thought it was a thing because I'm, again, mostly asexual. And so I'm like, oh, we were having fun, hanging out, and now they're staying the night because that's easier. And then they will kiss me and I'll be like, oh, we're going to have sex. That's cool. And I'm really excited about it. And then we have sex and like, that's cool. But I don't know that's going to happen until the minute they kiss me and we're like already in bed together.
I just had an idea. Maybe you could work this out through being a D&D character. Write down all the aspects of this person whose superpower is like not knowing they're having sex until they're having sex.
I trap people at my sleepover and then all of a sudden it's an orgy and they don't even know to attack.
So you're saying you're not out in the world picking people up?
No. And in fact, I once had a sleepover because I was like trying to have a sleepover and it turned into an orgy. And I was like,
what is happening?
This wasn't the plan.
You're like, guys, can we watch the movie? Why is everybody having sex with each other?
I made snacks. And then it was like everybody else had
want to clean the carpet? Anyone want to clean the carpet?
It was a highly reviewed party.
Let's organize the junk drawers.
It was lovely. I just didn't know what was coming. I just thought I was having a cool party for a bunch of queer people.
Yeah, this is just opening up a whole new box. Why would everyone else think sex is happening and not you?
I don't know, but I think if you want to go to an orgy, just like ask me to come to your party.
Wow.
I think I like bring orgies with me on accident. I think I just create a safe space where people are like, this is fine. We're all comfortable with our bodies and you're trusting. And so we're going to start having an orgy now.
No one's going to get hurt. That is so sweet.
But
also so bizarre.
Yeah, after everyone's done, I'm like, I cut strawberries.
Make sure to hydrate.
Thanks, everyone.
We've done it again. I don't know how we ended this episode with more questions.
I think that's
what we started out, and now it's like super provocative and it's ending. You're like, yeah, accidental sex. Anyway, you guys, talk to you later. Bye. Thank you for listening to this podcast called That Woo You Do.
If you have a moment and you would like to like and subscribe this podcast, that would be so awesome.
Please let us know if you've ever had a party that turned into an orgy.
Ooh, yeah, I love that. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Just like the orgies.
Like knowing if other people are doing that? Is that too much information? Like strangers?
Yeah, maybe not.
Stranger danger?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're opening ourselves up to like not trusting because this is random. It's the
internet.
Just
text
we don't know each other well enough.
Yeah, send us the stuff about your woo woo stuff and
D&D. What else have we covered?
What
Morning rituals. We still didn't get into it that much.
We'll get into it every morning. Every day is a morning, so we can do it next episode. Here's my
D&D sounds like something that needs to be talked about in this episode. From the viewers.
Totally. Tell us about how D&D has helped you.
Tell us if you're offended by me saying the master. Okay, thanks. Like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you later next time. That Woo You Do. I'm Mary Lynn Rajskub. This is Jeffrey J. Please give us a 5-star review.
Bye.
Bye. That's something that
we
people do.
We know that life is shit and we can all get so fed up with it. It may be weird, but hey, it works for you. Go on and pour some Kool-Aid for two and tell us what's the woo that you do.